Hi!
Hi!
Welcome back. After sharing so much information about the modes in CVT, today we will move on to a totally different topic. Interpretation!
Yes, in this video we will answer to the questions: what is interpretation, why is it important for singers, and how to get started.
In case you're new here, I'm Tabea and this is my friend Daria. We are both singers and vocal coaches, and every 2 weeks we share new content with tricks and tools to help singers improve their skills. Whatever your level is right now, if you love singing, stay with us and feel free to share your questions and thoughts in the comments. And now, let's jump back to today's topic.
So what is interpretation? According to Oxford Languages, it's the action of explaining the meaning of something or a stylistic representation of a creative work or a dramatic role. I would say this is already a pretty precise definition of it. In other words, for us singers, this means how you perform a musical piece.
Just to clarify, with the term musical piece, we refer to any song or any vocal composition from any musical genre.
The definition of interpretation can be understood in many different ways. From a musical perspective, you can change the speed, melody, or rhythm a little bit in order to express yourselves or your ideas. From an emotional point of view, you can tell the story that is behind it. In both cases, it leads to making your very own version of a piece.
So why is interpretation so important for singers? Well, the musical scene is full of amazing singers and performers who are technically very skilled. There's so much competition that it is very hard to stick out and actually be heard over the noise. But there's one thing where you are better and even more skilled than anyone else, and that is being yourself. No one will ever be as good as you in being you.
And this is where interpretation gets real. So you might not only stick out because you are offering your own interpretation that might be different from everyone else's, but also because it comes directly from you. This way, it will always be true, and just because of that, people will believe it and embrace it as a well-performed interpretation. On the other hand, your listeners will again interpret and understand your performance in many different ways, since each one of them has their own background. People may feel all sorts of emotion based on your interpretation. They may feel more or less identified depending on their experiences. But again, if you only copy other singers' interpretations or you just sing without doing anything at all, people will never buy whichever stories you're telling them on stage.
So how do we get started? It's not easy to play around with emotions, especially if you're new to this and you're not really used to it. But here we're going to share some basics to help you in the beginning.
The awareness exercise. Make physical awareness exercise. Try to sense what you hear and see, what you smell and taste, or what you feel with your skin. Pay attention to little details and be more aware of them. For example, what you see in front of you, apart from us. What shape does it have? What color? Is it alive, like a cat or a dog? Or is it an object? Does it make noises or smell? How does it make you feel? Later on, repeat this awareness exercise also in a more abstract way, with objects or people that you cannot see in front of you right now. Ask yourself the same questions as in the previous step, and at the end, ask yourself again, how does it make you feel? Now let's go even further. Picture yourself in past or future hypothetical situations and try to be aware of your feelings as well as your body language. Then sing from that emotion. Train this awareness until you are able to find it whenever you need without any trouble.
Second exercise, simplify. Take a verse or a small part of a musical piece and sum it up in one word that represents an emotion, the main emotion that lies behind. Keep splitting the rest of the lyrics in medium-sized paragraphs or sentences and repeat this process. Some emotions may show up more than once throughout the piece and some of them may vary. However, summing up a longer text and getting a few clear emotions out of it will help you with the structure of your interpretation. Also, you can then train to switch from one emotion to the other and see if those transitions are natural.
Next one is speak. Practice saying the text out loud. First the original version, then say the lyrics with your own words as if you were going through that very same situation in real life.
Exercise number 4. Ask yourself questions. Who are you talking to? Is there anyone with you in the scene or on stage? Or are you sharing your thoughts on your own? Also ask yourself what happened right before the music started. Was there anything that someone said or what actually motivated you to sing?
Number 5. Practice makes perfect. Often when we watch our favorite singers, it seems like they perform in a very natural way. If they are very skilled, the interpretation may look as if they were coming up with the emotions in that very moment, and sometimes that is true. But quite often, they've been working on the interpretation of a musical piece for a very long time. So the best thing you can do is just exactly that. Practice, practice, practice. And if you can, record yourself on a video. This way you can check if you actually like your own interpretations and also if they are natural.
Last but not least, never try to be funny. If you try to be funny, no one will ever laugh. That's the least amusing thing that you can do. If you try, people won't buy. And the same goes for all the other emotions. Don't ever go on stage with the sole intention to touch people, because that won't work. What actually works is to share your own perspective and uniqueness in the most sincere way.
That was it for today. If you want to know more about interpretation and how to apply it in a more practical way, stay tuned for our next videos.
In the meantime, if you want to book singing lessons with us, feel free to reach out. Our contact details are in the description below. Have fun singing and practicing interpretation, and see you very soon. Bye!
Bye!